Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adanna Combie and thank you so much for staying with us. We continue conversations this morning. We speak with Saunders, former General Secretary of the P.S.A, as we speak about the upcoming P.S.A general elections. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, comrade sister. Good morning to my brothers and sisters in Tobago. But a special good morning to all public officers viewing this wonderful program this morning.
All right, so we're heading into general elections, and I know you're the former general secretary, and you are presenting yourself again for elections as you head into it. So tell us a little bit about your former position and your position now as you get ready to prepare for the elections.
Sure, comrade sister. Well, I would have started off in the P.S.A over 25 years ago as a normal member. Then I quickly became an activist of the P.S.A, working myself up to the number one recruiter. Then I became the chairman of the St. Anne's Hospital section. I would have served on all the committees in the P.S.A. Committees, example, the sports and family day committees, the HIV/AIDS committees, the regional system that the P.S.A once had. So I would have served on all the committees. Then I became the chairman of the male caucus. From there, I graduated to being a grievance officer. And then persons may recall, I would have been elected as the P.S.A's general secretary with former President Mr. Watson Duke. And now I am leading a team of persons, a wonderful and very diverse team of persons calling ourselves the United Public Officers. So that is our current status at present.
Is this a move from the section you were representing prior, United, say it again, United Public Officers? Tell us
Yes.
now the reason for now moving to and leading this group of people into the elections.
Well, sure. Well, persons would have recalled that the P.S.A has been on a downward trajectory and spiraling out of control because there is a grave sense of hopelessness being permeating throughout the public service in Trinidad as well as in Tobago. And persons would have reached out to me saying, Oral, listen, we need to do something because they would have seen me speaking out on all public sector issues throughout the years consistently, even after being thrown out of the union, because yes, I was expelled from the union and I had to go to the High Court of Trinidad and Tobago in order to regain my membership. So I would have won that matter. So persons reached out to me and said, Oral, listen, you need to make that step forward in terms of representing the entire public service. Our comrades in Tobago have also been crying out, as well as Trinidad. Persons are continuing to be on 2013 salaries while absorbing the austerity measures of 2024-2025. So public officers, especially in a month like this, where most people believe instead of 31 days, this month seems to have about 90 days, they are suffering and they need some form of relief. And we would have heard, to our consternation, the current president of the P.S.A at Labor Day celebrations in Faizabad last year, indicating that he is not prepared or is no longer going to negotiate with the chief personal officer as until this government is changed. And therefore, as I said, public officers are saying, Mr. Saunders, Comrade Saunders, we did not join our union to play politics. We are supposed to be an apolitical organization working with any government that the people of Trinidad and Tobago sees fit to rule and govern. And you are supposed to, as the union, because you are being paid by the working class, the average public officer, your job is to seek the best terms and conditions of employment and work in the members' best interest and on their behalf, improving their welfare.
So I understand all of that. When you run this year, are you putting yourself, what position are you putting yourself forward for this year, just for clarity?
Yes, I will be running for the position of president of the Public Services Association. So I will be moving from former general secretary to the position of president with the support of the people of Tobago and Trinidad.
And I know you have a number of years in the PSA, of course, serving in different capacities and under different committees as they were. What exactly are you bringing to the table, all right, in the capacity of the president to ensure the satisfaction of the members, as you call them, comrades, brothers, and sisters, to ensure that you will fight for their cause until there is some measure of change or satisfaction to the things that they have been clamoring for?
Well said, Comrade Sister. We believe that this year, 2025, is indeed the year of change. And what the membership, as well as the country, could look forward is a level of representation that they have not enjoyed for over 14 years. We intend to return the ownership of our union back to its rightful owners, which is the members. Comrade Sister, there are members who believe that the PSA isn't even existing because they have no say. They want some relief in terms of their working conditions, in terms of their salaries, as I stated before. They are currently under 2013 salaries, absorbing all the austerity measures, and therefore they need a team of persons who are committed, persons who have a proven track record in terms of their character, and definitely they are clamoring for change. So we are going to return the union in terms of representation and focusing solely on representation, because that is exactly why they would have joined the union. There are so many members in the public service who are at present not in receipt of their group health plan, and they would have made claims on that group health plan in excess of a year, and some instances even in excess of 2 years, and they have not gotten any payment up to date. They have not received their traveling. Many public officers are complaining of the proliferation of contract employment. They would have been contracted for so many years and they have yet to be made permanently appointed. And this goes across the entire public service, even in terms of WASA, because there was an exercise that took place in WASA where many persons who were legitimately entitled to becoming permanently employed were indeed bypassed. So you are going to get a president that is solely focused on the job at hand, which is representing you and improving your terms and conditions. So we will negotiate with the CPO, get back around the table, because we believe public officers are extremely upset and they really want to get out there on the streets because they are being left behind. While the other unions are progressing forward, the PSA is being left behind.
Mr. Saunders, as you prepare to head into the elections, what is the word on the ground? What is the feedback like from your comrades and brothers and sisters?
Want change. They are fed up. And comrades sister, you may not or may be aware that public officers pay $100 per member every month, which is roughly $1,200 per annum. And they are not receiving the representation that they deserve. In fact, it is so bad, comrade sister, that public officers aren't even being allowed to go into the building that they call home, which is the head office. And for persons in Tobago, our sister Isles, what the United Public Officers team is going to do, and I dare any other team that is willing or vying for this leadership of the PSA to say, is that we are going to ensure that our second vice president comes from Tobago, because we recognize that our brothers and sisters in Tobago have very unique issues, and therefore they need someone over there that will be autonomous and be able to rally the troops. And we have chosen Comrade Ellis Clark. Persons would remember him because he would have served with Mr. Duke some time ago. So what we did was to sit down together, put aside our differences, and put the best interests of the Tobagonian and Trinidadian public officer ahead of any personal issues. And he would have agreed to come on board with us. And therefore, as I said, we are the only team that is going to be placing a fellow Tobagonian comrade as one of the presidents of the PSA, because we believe Tobago deserves nothing less. I mean, if it is you were to visit what the property that the Public Services Association owns, which is on Pigot Street, there isn't a building there. And for the millions of dollars that would have passed through the coffers of the PSA, the executive, past and present, did not see it fit to really place a building there that really represents the people of Tobago and what they deserve. And therefore, we are going to ensure that we put up a structure there that the people would enjoy and they will feel at home, where members could come together to deal with their issues, and not only deal with their issues, but we will definitely be educating our representatives. Our aim at the United Public Officers is to ensure that every single government office in Tobago and Trinidad has a representative that is educated in terms of industrial relations, occupational health and safety. And we are even going to delve into HR, because these are the professionals that the union representatives are coming up against around the table. So we need to be sitting on an equal platform where we could meet those challenges and overcome those challenges.
Absolutely well said. Comrade, can I call you that? When are the elections? When is the elections scheduled for?
We want every single public officer in Tobago to note that these elections are very important, and it would definitely chart the direction that you would like to see your union going in. And therefore, it is going to be on Monday, the 10th of March, 2025. We believe that the incumbents tried a fast one, because they would have placed these elections practically in the middle of Christmas and Carnival celebrations, hoping that it would have distracted public officers from the challenging circumstances they work under. But we know, especially with your help, Comrade Sister, using this wonderful platform that is seen throughout Trinidad and Tobago and even internationally, that persons would be aware of their responsibility, because there's absolutely no reason why, after paying $1,200 per annum for several years as a member, you would not go out to vote to make that change you would like to see in the P.S.A. going forward.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saunders, of course, for giving us all that information there and the encouragement for your members to go out and vote on March 10th. Yes, that's when the elections take place. So you want to ensure that you are part of what is happening there. We do wish you the very best. We wish you and your team the best. And we wish the P.S.A. in general the very, very best as you head into the elections on March 10th. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Mr. Oral Saunders. He's presenting himself for president of the P.S.A. as they head into general elections on March 10th. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations in studio this morning. But guess what? Who's up next? Dwayne Dove. He is up next. Yes, we're going to have that conversation with him this morning as well. We're talking about turning beer from cocoa. Yeah, very, very important conversation. So you want to be a part of that. In the meantime, of course, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.